Hi, and welcome to day 2, February 22nd, 2020. And I'm just here to do what I do and offer you some solace and some comfort of another human being, speaking to you and letting you know that you count and you matter. And if there's anything that you have on your mind to write down, I have what's called the Start Today Journal, and I'm starting it a little bit late today, and that was inspired by Rachel Hollis, and so I do fill that out. I don't really talk about what I put in there too much, but I wanted to have this time, so I have a wood burning candle in the background, and I have the beach sounds going, and so this is what we're going to do for a little bit, and hopefully I'll get through it fairly quickly. First, I'm going to write the 5 things that I'm grateful for today, and she recommends that they don't be big things. So I guess I can share a little bit. I'm excited, or I'm grateful that I can ask Google to put on beach sounds, and well, here they are. And I'm thankful that I have wood-wick candles that that burn and make a fire pit sound while they're burning in your house. So that's amazing. Um, uh, I'm thankful that I signed up for B School today, which is with Marie Forleo. I'm also thankful that um, I just put down my first payment for our Disneyland California trip. And I'm grateful for my Keurig coffee maker so I could have a nice cup of coffee ready to go when I'm about to share my parts of my day with you. Then she has us write 10 dreams that have happened. So we write them as if they've already happened, even um, if they've already happened, then they shouldn't be on your list because that means that they've come true, and that's amazing. And so this is for the dreams that you make happen. And she has a whole thing. I think it's on podcast 72, I think, of her of the Rise podcast with Rachel Hollis. So I'm not getting anything for this. She's just one amazing lady, and if you don't know who she is, definitely take a minute to check her out. It's pretty cool. And so I've got 10 dreams that I have in my heart. And I'm going to go ahead and write those later because I already know what they are. And I feel that this time is more for you than it is for me. I'm just putting things down. I'm not even sure what it is that I even have to offer. And I just know that you have to start somewhere. And this is where I've decided to start. I've always thought in my head that coffee time with a bunch of ladies would be great. And there are some times, though, that I ran into challenges that either they said something that I didn't feel I could expound upon, and I didn't feel like it would be received in a very open fashion. And that's okay, and that's perfectly fine. It's just that if I'm with people who tell me that it's an open forum and everything is game, then I'm thinking everything is game. I'm not thinking, oh, we probably shouldn't curse, or that we need to keep this curt, or it needs to be businessy, or it needs to be, gossipy, or whatever it is. And it's so difficult when you start to get into different people's perspectives. And for me, I think that all of your perspectives are amazing and great, and they offer a lot of food for thought and send me away from the table, and I want to check it out and I want to look at it, and does it fit with what I want to do with my life? Does it bring value to my life? Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Woo, excuse me. And that's a human thing, and it happened on camera. And no, I'm not editing out, because this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I understand. That's another thing. You go onto Instagram or you go onto Facebook, and everybody's beautiful, and their families are beautiful, and their pictures are beautiful. Mind you, I love to take great pictures. I do. I put those on Facebook. I love looking through a camera and just capturing those beautiful moments, especially when I take my walks in nature, or I'm on the beach, or I feel like, for me, because I believe in God, I'm like, wow, he looks like he took his paintbrush and brushed it across the sky, or he was kind enough to give me a beautiful pathway to walk along, a trail that he inspired somebody else to make, so that I no longer have to use a machete and cut my way through it. Today I just want to talk about life and myself, and I don't know if you've been here, and I don't know if I want to call it anxiety, or if I just want to call it downright failure, and that's okay. I don't know what I was thinking when I started this, but I mean, it's only day 2. Who knows what day 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to look like. And again, you have to start somewhere, and it's like all of a sudden I've decided to do this, and I've decided to join the Love, Serve, Grow Challenge, which somehow is connected to, in a certain way, they got to go speak at Grant Cardone's 10X conference. So, I mean, and I didn't even know who Grant Cardone was until this morning. So for me, I do a lot of praying, I do a lot of asking, and I definitely believe in miracles. I definitely believe that God is working every day. Sometimes I think he's forgot about me, and that's not fair to him, let me tell you that, right straight out the gate. And the fact that this is going live, I mean, I don't even know. And it's only going to be 1 or 2 people that see it. So, I mean, I guess I could talk about just about anything, right? And so, what comes to mind for me right now, just in a statement, is like, I'm not a fly fisher, so I'm not going to talk about fly fishing. I definitely don't have the latest gossip that I want to share. One thing that I think I will share that's pretty awesome for me is that I had a lot of hatred in my heart, a lot of bitterness, and a lot of, I had a vengeful spirit. And I just was tired of people talking to me certain ways, choosing to treat me certain ways, and just spread wildfire. And I was irritated, frustrated, angered, and I was just like, just give me a stage. Just give me a platform and I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them, get them, get them, get them, get them. And that was, needless to say, many years ago. And I've had many opportunities that would come and go, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I think I speak pretty well, pretty eloquent. I have a pretty large vocabulary. I love people, and I'm inspired by people, and I want to help people myself. Let me tell you this, whether you believe in God or not, it is very difficult to get a message out there that is against other people. You will 100% come against a brick wall. No matter who you are, no matter what you believe, no matter what it is that's driving the train for you to hold that hatred, that bitterness, and that disconnect in you, you will forever hit a brick wall. And I all of a sudden wondered, based on what Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable, I thought, what can I learn from this? How can I put a different spin on this for my life? And what I can tell you is I was not happy with the results. I wasn't happy with what came back to hit me square between the eyes. I learned that, based on what Rachel Hollis says, ain't nobody coming to rescue you, so stop waiting for it and get out there and rescue yourself. And she's right. I wanted I don't want to say the whole world, that's pretty drastic. I wanted the people in my life, all my life, to rescue me. I'd seen one too many TV shows, watched one too many feel-good family shows that were put out unbeknownst to me because of war, and they wanted to put something nice on TV so that we weren't looking at all of this goriness that was happening during the wars. And you come out with shows like Leave It to Beaver, and My Three Sons, and The Partridge Family, and Gilligan's Island, and Treasure Island, and The Love Boat, and you come out with all of these shows that are just beautifully, wonderfully, and masterfully made. And when you're a child, you believe unless somebody tells you, or you walk into this, I don't know. I guess if you see it on TV, you're thinking that that's the way your house should be. At least that's what I thought. And I thought, what's the matter with my family? They don't do these things. My mom doesn't talk to me like that. My dad definitely doesn't talk to me like that. And my grandma and my grandpa and aunts, uncles, cousins, all the way down the line. That is not what was happening. There weren't hugs. There wasn't kisses. There wasn't, here's your lunch. There wasn't any of that. And because I believed in my mind that's what it was supposed to be, I just carried that with me like, who's going to save me from my bad family? And who's going to save me from my bad friends? And who's going to save me from these awful people that are in my life? And I want someone to do it for me. And let me tell you, the number one thing that happens in this, I don't know if it's this country or just everywhere, if you don't want to live your life, and you don't want to make choices, and you don't want to make decisions, I can guarantee you there are hundreds of thousands of other people, because they don't want to live their life, they're willing to live yours for you. And they will tell you what decisions you should make. And they'll tell you the direction you should go. And they'll tell you, and they'll tell you, and they'll tell you. And the challenge with that is, first of all, you don't question it because, hey, if I go this way and it's wrong, I get to blame them. They told me to go left, and they didn't tell me there was going to be a bear there waiting for me. So now I'm mauled and jacked up, and oh my goodness, and it's their fault. And I did. I blamed, the only people I didn't blame was my mom and dad, because I just always knew that you don't blame your mom and dad. I don't know. It's just a thing. I did blame friends. I did blame other family members. And I blamed anybody in my vicinity that I could. Which brings me back to today. I wanted a man to rescue me. And I wanted to have a maid. And I wanted to have, an easy life. And I just felt that if you played your cards right, and you did, it's bothering me that I just did that on national camera, so I might have to edit that out. I don't know. I can't believe I did that. So, and right there you get to learn like the process of the thought, because there's this thing that I wanted to be not necessarily perfect, but you don't want to see me doing that on TV, right? But then again, it happened. It's there. It's in the now. So and guess what? I don't know how to edit very well. So it might be stuck in there, and I don't know. I'll see if I can take that out. Now that I've expounded on something that may not be there, and you'll be like, what happened? Well, I'll just enlighten you. I almost picked my nose on national. Well, not national. 2 people see me pick my nose. And so awareness comes down to awareness. And so those people on this stage that I wanted to hammer, I don't want to hammer them anymore. I actually have come to the point where I love them. I accept them. And I know that their journey is completely different than mine. And I'm thankful for them. And I have a lot of gratitude for them. And I have a lot of love and compassion for them, because if not for their behavior, I wouldn't have ever been inspired to be a better person. And as Dean Graziosi says, I'm just responsible for being a better version today than I was yesterday. Well, if I choose to take on that responsibility. And for me, I definitely always want to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. And it was nice to hear from Dean Graziosi that that's the only competition I have. You're not my competition, even if you look similar to me or you're doing the same thing I'm doing. You're not my competition in any way, shape, or form, no matter who you are. And I'm not your competition. You are your only competition. And anything that you want to do in this life, I give you permission. Go do it. I don't care if that is, again, basket weaving. I don't care if that's fire making. I don't care if that's fly fishing or cosmetics or glasses or hair pieces or coaching or teaching, tutoring, whatever, hundreds upon thousands of things that you could do out there. All I want to throw out there is that the power is in the moment that you decide to do what you love. Because it's in that moment, even though it's scary, even though it could feel pretty crappy. And you could feel like you're railing against everything you know. Do it. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for your friends. Don't do it for your family. Don't do anything for anybody else except for yourself. Do it for yourself. Because once you learn to fill your own cup, guess what? That cup will then overflow into everybody else's life. And everybody will naturally benefit from the greatness that you bring to the table. All you have to do is get to the place that you are doing something that you love. When you do something you love, you radiate, you glow. and you are everything powerful in that moment. And that's where the power in the moment comes from. That moment that you decide. And it only takes 30 seconds to make a decision, as my brother told me, because my brother is not the same man that he was when we were kids. And thank goodness for that. And at the same time, I want all of you to go out there. I don't want you to chase your dreams. I want you to live your dreams. And whatever that looks like to you, that is beneficial for other people and brings other people up and elevates other people, and everybody's, like Rachel Hollis says, the tide rises, all boats in the harbor rise. Well, that's what you're focused on, the tide. You want the tide to rise. And the tide is not going to rise until you get on board with you. Because every time you rail against who you are, you're just doing the dog paddle out in the ocean. And I would really love to see you get to dry land. So, as my time winds down, and I've spoken all over the map about everything and anything, I just really am doing this so that you have someone to connect to. I don't even have to know who you are. You can be quiet and on the sidelines of this. Be loud and proud in the life that you're living. And sometimes you can't do that right away, so golf clap for those of you who are in tough situations, who are sneaking to see something great, who are sneaking and just want a little bit of an answer. You are amazing, no matter who you are, no matter what your capabilities, no matter what you do or don't bring to the table. You're amazing. Every piece of you is amazing. And I feel that anytime you get to take one more breath, it is your opportunity to bring your special ingredient to the table. And like I said, I need that special ingredient so that pieces of my life can be that much more flavorful. I don't need the whole recipe. I just need you to be the one ingredient and be the best ingredient that you can. So with that, I give you a fine Saturday, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if not, that's okay. I'll be back tomorrow for another one. And I'm definitely going to get on the editing train, because I definitely might want to know how to do that for certain situations in the future. And whoever's watching, I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful. I think you're lovely. I think that whatever you have to give us is great. And I just can't wait to see all of the greatness that you bring into this world. And have a wonderful day.